Okay, Smackdown. Now, before I get started, I want to make this clear. I know I don't need to do this. In fact, I've been debating on should I say anything, but honestly, after the mistake I made in my Impact review, which I make mistakes, it happens. Look, if you think podcasts just don't make mistakes, hell yes, they do. I'm telling you right now, do not think that anyone who does what I'm doing, not if they're live streaming, that if they're recording, they don't screw up, turn off the thing and try again more than a few times. I've done it and I know other people do it. But I'm the type of person that likes to admit when I screw up and what is going on with me, because if you guys are watching me, I become a part of your day. I'm not saying that I'm a part of your life, but I'm the type of person that likes to be honest about how I am. I try not to lie. I've lied. Anyone lies, either out of fear or out of confusion. I've done it both. But I'm generally a very honest person that doesn't like to lie and don't like to screw around with people. So, simply put, I apologize for being distracted for the last couple of days. As you already know what happened in my Raw review, I said what happened because of a stabbing that happened almost literally in front of my building. It affected me. I know I don't have to say it, but I am been more distracted than normal. That's the reason why I botched saying Victory Road when I meant Bound for Glory. I don't have to do it, but I did it. So I hope you understand if I'm still a little distracted and I screw up. Let's move on to... I'm sorry. Let's move on to what we got in SmackDown. Now, did we get a good show? It was not bad. The story that we got, multiple stories, were mostly built pretty well. I'm not going to tell you that the women's match made me happy. I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. And the story that's built around that, I am not feeling it. But I will say, in general, some of the stories here were alright. They weren't that bad. Now, Jimmy Uso versus Carl Anderson. Now, we got the Bloodline opening like they normally do. They always open. But as you already know, Jimmy, Look, I'm going to be honest about Jimmy. If you compare Jimmy to Jay, Jay's better. I'm not harshing right now on Jimmy because he has not had time to develop like Jay had for the last 3 years. When Jimmy got hurt, Jay was by himself working with Roman, and he had the chance to really build himself up to where he's here, depending on how much more they're going to keep him like that before he goes like this. Let's hope they don't. But he's had 3 years of development. Jay is only a few months. He's only started, and to be honest, the way they booked the way it is, it's not really working 100%. They're going to have to tweak it if they continue doing it. But as you see from the opening of the show, he's been taking over for Paul and trying to make it clear that he's the one that's more important than anybody else. And it kind of goes along with the storyline that, and if anybody remembers, and I'm sure more than a few people do, that when Roman confronted Jay, and when he said that Jimmy was against him becoming the next tribal chief, this is the reason why. That's the best way they've been booking it. That one reference is all we got that's making Jimmy the way he is. He never wanted his brother to ever be the tribal chief. Of course, they tweaked it because they really don't have any idea what to do with Jimmy. They're going away from the story that Jimmy just didn't want Jay to become like Roman, but now he's acting like Roman, which doesn't really work very well because he needed to be by himself. He really did. He needed to be by himself and get his ass whooped heavily before he came to his senses and before Solo and Paulie convinced him to come back. By him doing this really doesn't sound right. That's the reason why they need to tweak it. They're using one reference of Jimmy not wanting Jay as a tribal chief to try and make something off the back of. And it doesn't seem to be working very well, at least not yet. It's still a few months into it. But we get Carl coming out because of what happened with AJ, and we get this match, which I did not expect Jimmy to lose, which he didn't. Didn't lose. But once Michan came out and snapped that taste out of his mouth, where's Nia Jax? This is where the only time Nia Jax will make sense. Of course, Nia Jax is staying on Raw. One of the few times they're keeping someone that's on another show there. Surprising that Nia Jax didn't show up on SmackDown so she can destroy Mi Chan there. And every other woman. Because I'm surprised. Unless Ava Raine is going to show up. Where, if I remember correctly, this is Nia, this is Ava. I think she might be slightly shorter than her, but both these women are big-ass women. So I wouldn't be surprised that Ava Raine comes up eventually. Because she can be thrown into the bloodline if Nia Jax is not going to be allowed to go back and forth between both shows. But we see that... I think I'll stop right there because we will be going into John Cena and I'll be talking about that with LA Knight. Let's move on. The next match, which was the best match of the night with the best story. And that's Santos Escobar versus Rey, where both are, well, one's a mentor, one's basically being mentored. One looked up to the father of the other one. So Rey looked up to Santos' father, and Santos looks up to Rey. So we got two guys who have no interest in having a feud between each other, just going after the title that's within the same faction. This is where this was kind of dumb. Because this would have been better at Fastlane. This is where this story should have had the Fastlane instead of here in Raw. Oh, no, not Raw, SmackDown, sorry. Let me give it to you like this. The match was great. In the end, Rey managed to retain. But still, I feel that this made no sense here. And obviously, people are going to say, well, it does make sense. What happened with the Street Profits? What happened there? I understand what you're talking about. I understand what happened with Grayson Waller, and I will get to that in a moment. But honestly, if you got such a strong story of Santos Escobar, who's always admired Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio, who grew up watching his father, Santos' father, and probably admired him as well, along with his own uncle, they could have built this into Fastlane. They could have done it. And I feel like it was a waste. A waste. Why didn't they do it? Why didn't they have the interest in doing it? Why? Because they want to make it about Gunther? They still got to build up Gunther and soon to be his opponent. I don't remember who's his opponent if he has one. I don't remember, honestly. But after the match, when they looked like they're about to do something, we got the Street Profits coming out and destroying them. And that's mainly due to the fact of last week and the match that happened with the same four guys, the Street Profits and LWO. And look what happened. On the Grayson Waller effect, you got Bobby really making it very clear. Prove it to me. Don't come and talk to me. Don't come and apologize. Don't come and say an excuse. Prove me. Prove it to me. And that's the reason why they destroyed them. But does it have to be the NWO who's working with a story that actually could be interesting to a lot of people? No. I'm going to tell you this. It's good to see that hopefully now the Street Profits will be more serious. No more coming out dancing. They changed their music. If they got to keep their ring attire, I don't care. Just make them different. Make them different. But does it have to be off the back of the NWO with a match that could actually been interesting to see? Where you don't even have to have Santos Escobar turn heel. Just to let them have this moment on a pay-per-view, even if it's a minor one. It could have been alright, but no, we didn't get that. And now they're going to have what? A triple threat? No, that was for the women's title. They're going to have a 6-man tag, I believe. LWO versus the Street Profits and Bobby. After they got their asses destroyed. And I believe it was, who was the one that got nailed? Was it Wilder or El Toro? I think it might have been Wild who got nailed by Bobby when splat. I think it was Wilder. I think. Let's move on. The match that I was not feeling. The match that didn't make any sense to me. I don't care about the match. And you know what? Before I get started, this is what I'm worried about. And I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now. I know Jade is a part of WWE. They made the advertisement with not a Corey Graves or Patrick it was a Michael Cole who stated, now, Jade Cargill is a part of WWE. They showed basically the tweets, well, the X's, whatever it's called. The X tweets, there you go. And that she's a part of them. I'm going to tell you right now. Am I angry that Jade went to WWE? I want to make this clear. Several things. Am I angry she went? No. Like I told you for years, this is something that's always been around. Going from one promotion to another. Wrestlers always would stay in one promotion as long as they can, and then they migrate to another promotion. The territorial days is the same thing as what they're doing with WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Everyone always eventually goes somewhere. And I got no problem with her going. It just counts if they do something stupid like a Tessa Blanchard, who refused to go anywhere with the damn title, refused to do work with Impact Wrestling. They had to fire her. That's an example. CM Punk, what he did, having the issue, choking out sorry, my nose is itchy, choking out a Jungle Boy, that's inexcusable. That was wrong what he did. Those type of situations, I don't agree with. You're a piece of garbage when you do something like that. Now, mind you, if CM Punk went to Impact Wrestling, it would give them a lot of clout, so I wouldn't be minding it if he understood how stupid he acted, but it doesn't mean it's going to work. But when it comes to Jade, she didn't cause any trouble. I'm glad she's going there. Hopefully she'll get more training because she needs it. I wish she would go to NXT, not to the main roster, because she really needs more time working in NXT to build herself up. Hopefully she will go there. I don't know, but she will. The one thing I'm worried about is what we just saw here. We got Bayley versus Charlotte. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't care about the match because I had a feeling Charlotte was going to win, and she did. What did this really mean? This was a setup for Charlotte, Bayley, and Io to actually now have a triple threat because Asuka runs out, starts saying something in not Spanish, but Japanese. I'm about to say Asuka speaks Spanish. She might. I don't know if Asuka speaks Japanese, English. I don't know if she speaks Spanish. I think she might speak French. I could be wrong. I thought I heard that she can speak more than one language. I could be wrong. I probably am. But now Bayley says it's going to be a triple threat between them three? Why? This makes no sense. Now, many people say, yes, it does. Because Bayley has always been telling Io what to do. Io didn't agree to that. Io didn't hear Asuka even say anything to that. And Bayley's trying to take all the clout. Yes, you could normally say that. But under the circumstances where we knew Charlotte was going to be interjected into another feud, where it should be Asuka and Io. Why is it not Asuka and Io dealing with each other? Why did they throw Charlotte in and now Asuka's not even in the conversation? Because it's now going to be, unless I didn't hear it correctly, which maybe I haven't, it's going to be Io, it's going to be Charlotte, and it's going to be Bayley for the damn titles at Fastlane. Unless they're going to do a Fatal 4-Way and Asuka's going to be added, unless I didn't hear it correctly. Because I was pretty pissed when I saw this. This was stupid. But if they're doing it like that, why? I didn't give a damn seeing Asuka run out knowing full well Charlotte was there, and they make it more about Charlotte than anybody else. And I'm saying it back, I'm saying it again now. I'm worried about Jade Cargill dealing with Charlotte. No matter how much clout you have coming into a company, if Charlotte wants you done, you're gonna be done. I don't care what anybody says. Jade can get buried just like anybody else that comes in from another company, particularly a rival that WWE's been wanting done for a while. I'm sorry. I'm worried for Jade. Hopefully, she stays on NXT and she's not screwed over by the main roster. Okay. This was the last match. And let's make this clear. What do I think about John Cena teaming up with LA Knight? I know I could be talking about Pretty Deadly. I'm not going to. It counts on how much of these silly vignettes are going to be. But this is about John Cena wanting a partner. He was supposedly delayed by aircraft, by flight, by his aircraft, could not get in time, mainly due probably to the storm, because here in New York, it got flooded pretty damn bad, guys. Lower Manhattan had some water, but Brooklyn was flooded. I'm glad I'm in the Bronx, so the water wasn't that bad here, but damn, it was flooded pretty badly in Brooklyn. But if it was due to the fact of the storm, I'm not surprised. But what made things confusing for me personally, why did John Cena come up in a car if he's driving in from the airport? Why is he in his ring attire? Why couldn't he just be wearing regular clothes? Jeans, pants, or jeans, a jacket, something normal. He should have never came in. That just makes it look bad. For me personally, he shouldn't have came in his ring attire. That was dumb. He shouldn't have. That means he had enough time when he landed to get changed, then jump into a car. Really? You couldn't just let him come in regular jeans and sneakers and a jacket and a shirt. That would feel like he actually did travel. But he gets into the ring. He said he got his ass whooped by, well, he makes it very clear. If he cannot get a partner, he doesn't care. He will do 2-on-1. And then the bloodline comes out after they've taken out what was left of Hit Row, because Adonis got his ass totally destroyed by Jimmy and by Solo. They destroyed him. They were destroying everybody that was in the back. They were taking out staff. They took out Adonis from the old Hit Row. That just shows you how much they don't care about Adonis and care about B-Fab. They don't give a fuck about them. They just use them as afterthought. And probably that might be the last time we see them, because those two may be released soon. You never know, they may be released. This might be the last time we see what's left of Hit Row, of Shanti Adonis and B-Fab. That might be the last we see them, because they may be gone in the next couple of weeks to a month. We never know. But we get that. We get everyone else getting beaten up. And they came out to deal with John Cena saying, you're going to try and get a partner? Ain't going to happen. You ain't going to make it to Fastlane. Then we get to fight. And we're about to see pretty much John Cena about to get splatted by how can I say this? He's about to get flattened by Solo until LA Knight. Yeah. My boy. The former Eli Drake. I'm going to keep saying that for as long as he stays in WWE, until he leaves and he goes back to Eli Drake, LA Knight. He helps, he saves him, and he signs a damn contract. So now LA Knight is a partner to John Cena. Now, what does that mean? It's actually very good. I was worried about LA. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very worried about LA Knight. That as much as they say they're going to push him, he wasn't really treated that greatly, even though he's so over. That's the truth. What would really get him over is that he would be confronting The Rock on camera. Now, let's make this clear. There's no way that the actual guy did not run into The Rock when he showed up. There is no way. No way he hasn't met The Rock yet. He had to meet The Rock by now. And they were together and he had to talk when he says, I'm a big fan. Thank you very much for what you've done. I'm sure he's met him now. Since he showed up on Raw, he probably will show up on SmackDown. He did show up on SmackDown. And he will eventually show up on Raw. But clearly he had to talk to him already. I would have loved to see that. The one who's doing yeah and the one who does finally. I would love to see them together. But seeing this makes me very happy, and it's good to see they are investing in him. But I'm still concerned. I'm worried still, even though I'm very happy, because I have no idea where they're going to go with him. Because they can give him all these spots, but if they don't really give him something to sink his teeth into, I'm worried. But the worry is like here. My happiness is here. So until they do something stupid to bring this up and bring this down, I'm here. My worry is low, but my happiness and excitement is here. To see LA Knight, yeah! He's going to have his opportunity at Fastlane with John Cena and the Bloodline, even though Bloodline is now going like this. John Cena is not really high. He's like somewhere around here. But LA is like this. He'll gain something from it. But it's just me. Peace.